Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Your life is precious. Your time, your energy, your spirit, they are sacred gifts. But the hard truth is, not everyone deserves access to those gifts. Some people in your life right now are like weeds in a garden, choking the life out of your dreams, your peace, and your joy. If you want to grow into the person you were meant to be, you have to learn how to eliminate negativity, starting with the people who bring it into your life. Let's talk about the first kind of person you don't need, the drainer. You know the type. Every time they call, every time they show up, you feel heavy. They unload their problems, their complaints, their frustrations, and then they leave you there holding the weight of it all. These are the people who never ask, "How can I help you?" or "What's going on in your world?" They just take and they take until you've got nothing left. You've got to recognize when someone is draining you, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. Protect your energy, because your energy is your power. Next, we have the dream killer. Oh, these people are dangerous. They'll look at your aspirations and say, "That's not realistic," or "Why are you even trying that?" These are the people who want to clip your wings because they've never learned how to fly. Let me tell you something. Your dreams are not up for debate. You don't need anyone's permission to pursue your purpose. Surround yourself with people who will encourage you, who will challenge you to go higher, not those who try to pull you down to their level. And then there's the manipulator. This is the person who knows how to push your buttons, who knows your weaknesses and uses them to their advantage. They will guilt trip you, pressure you, and twist the truth just to get what they want. They'll make you feel like you're the problem when really they're just playing a game. Stop playing. Learn to recognize manipulation for what it is and walk away. Your peace is worth more than their control. The fourth type is the gossip. Oh, you know them. They always have something negative to say about someone else. They live for drama, and if there's none to be found, they'll create it. What you need to understand is that if they're gossiping about others to you, you can bet they're gossiping about you to others. Gossips thrive in negativity, and if you spend too much time around them, that negativity will rub off on you. Choose your circle wisely, because who you surround yourself with is who you become. Finally, let's talk about the self-centered. These are the people who only call when they need something. They expect you to show up for them every time, but they're never there when you need them. Relationships should be a two-way street, not a one-way road where you're always the one giving. If someone can't reciprocate your kindness, your effort, or your time, it's okay to love them from a distance. Now, you might be wondering, how do I handle these people? How do I protect myself without becoming cold or bitter? The answer is boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They're fences to protect what's inside. You've got to decide what you will and won't allow in your life, and then stick to it. Say no without guilt. Walk away without regret. Your peace, your joy, your mental health, they are worth fighting for. Let me leave you with this. Life is too short to carry dead weight. You have a purpose, a calling, a destiny, and you cannot afford to let anyone hold you back. It's time to let go of the drainers, the dream killers, the manipulators, the gossips, and the self-centered. Make room for people who inspire you, who support you, who lift you higher. Because when you eliminate negativity, you make space for the extraordinary. Let me tell you something about the people I call drainers. They don't show up with a warning sign. They walk into your life subtly, often disguised as friends, colleagues, or even family members. At first, it may seem like they just need someone to lean on, and because you're kind, you give them your ear, your time, and your energy. But here's the problem. Drainers don't know when to stop. They'll dump all their problems on you. Every complaint, every issue, every bit of bad news, they will lay it at your feet like it's your responsibility to fix it. And the more you listen, the more they take. They will monopolize your time with their negativity, but when you need support, they're nowhere to be found. They leave you feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and emotionally depleted. Have you ever hung up the phone or walked away from someone and just felt like the life had been sucked out of you? That's the mark of a drainer. Now let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with supporting the people you care about. Life is tough and we all need help sometimes, but there's a difference between someone going through a rough patch and someone who lives in a constant state of negativity. The drainer is not looking for solutions. They're not seeking growth. They're just unloading over and over again without ever giving anything back. If you're not careful, drainers will pull you into their mindset. They'll make you believe that the world is a dark place, that nothing ever goes right, and that hope is just an illusion. And once you adopt that negativity, it's like a virus. It spreads to every part of your life. You stop believing in your own dreams, you stop seeing the beauty in the world, and you start to feel just as drained as they are. So what do? You set boundaries. You have to be firm. When a drainer starts down their usual path, stop them. Say, I care about you, but I can't take this on right now. You don't have to explain yourself or feel guilty for protecting your energy. Your peace is your responsibility, and you have every right to guard it fiercely. And let me tell you something powerful. When you remove drainers from your life or limit their access to you, you create space for people who fill you up. People who encourage, uplift, and inspire. People who listen to your dreams and help you see them through. You deserve relationships that add to your life, not ones that constantly take away. Remember, you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You're not a dumping ground for negativity, and you're not obligated to carry the weight of other people's misery. Set yourself free from the drainers, and watch how much lighter and brighter your life becomes. The dream killer is one of the most dangerous people you can have in your life. They may not come out and tell you, I don't want you to succeed, but their actions and words say it loud and clear. They'll mask their negativity with concern, telling you things like, I'm just trying to be realistic, or I don't want you to get your hopes up. But what they're really doing is planting seeds of doubt in your mind, seeds that, if you're not careful, will take root and grow into fear and hesitation. Sometimes dream killers are people who genuinely care about you, but their own insecurities and failures have blinded them. They couldn't achieve their goals, so they assume you can't achieve yours either. Other times, they're envious. They see the potential in you and it terrifies them because it reminds them of what they gave up on. Instead of cheering you on, they try to clip your wings so you'll stay grounded with them. And some dream killers, they're just plain toxic. They don't want to see anyone rise higher than them, so they'll do everything in their power to hold you back. Dream killers show up in subtle ways. Maybe you mention a new business idea and they scoff or laugh it off. Maybe you talk about going back to school and they immediately list all the reasons it won't work out. You share a vision for your life and they tell you it's too big, too bold, too risky. The more you listen to them, the more your dreams start to feel impossible. They make you second guess yourself. Maybe they're right, you think. Maybe I'm being unrealistic. But let me tell you something. Your dreams were not given to them. They were given to you. And just because someone else can't see your vision doesn't mean it isn't real. Dream killers don't have the final say over your life. You do. If you let their words dictate your actions, you're handing over control of your future. Don't give them that power. So how do you deal with dream killers? First, recognize them for what they are. Pay attention to how you feel after talking to certain people about your goals. Do you feel energized and inspired, or do you feel deflated and discouraged? Once you identify the dream killers in your life, limit how much you share with them. Not everyone deserves to hear your dreams. Protect your vision like it's the most precious thing in the world, because it is. Second, surround yourself with people who speak life into your dreams. People who say, I believe in you, you can do this, and how can I help? Find mentors, friends, and supporters who see your potential and want to see you win. When you have the right people in your corner, dream killers lose their power. Finally, become your own biggest cheerleader. There will be times when no one else can see what you see, and that's okay. You have to believe in yourself so fiercely that no amount of negativity can shake you. Speak affirmations over your life. Remind yourself of your strengths, your progress, and your purpose. When you know who you are and where you're going, the voices of the dream killers become nothing more than background noise. Your dreams are too important to let someone else's fear, envy, or doubt get in the way. Protect them, nurture them, chase after them with everything you've got. And when you eliminate the dream killers, watch how much faster you soar. The manipulator is someone you need to be especially cautious with because they don't operate in obvious ways. They're not loud with their negativity, and they don't always show their true colors up front. Manipulators are skilled at using your kindness, your empathy, and even your love as tools to get what they want. And before you know it, you're caught in their web, doing things for them, sacrificing your peace, and feeling guilty for even thinking about saying no. Manipulators are experts at twisting the truth to fit their agenda. They know how to make you question your own feelings, your own decisions, and even your own worth. They use guilt as a weapon. After everything I've done for you, you're really going to say no? Or they'll play the victim, making you feel responsible for their problems. And if that doesn't work, they'll flatter you just enough to keep you hooked. They'll say, you're the only one I can count on, or you're the only one who understands me. But the truth is, they don't respect you. They're just using you. One of the most dangerous tactics manipulators use is creating confusion. They'll send mixed messages, keeping you off balance so you don't know what's real and what's not. They'll gaslight you, making you doubt your own reality. They'll say things like, you're overreacting, or you're just being too sensitive, even when you know deep down that something is wrong. Manipulators thrive on control, and the more they confuse you, the easier it is for them to dominate the situation. You might recognize a manipulator when you start to notice a pattern. You're always the one giving, compromising, or sacrificing, and they're always the one benefiting. You feel drained after every interaction, yet somehow obligated to keep showing up for them. It's a one-sided relationship, and the longer it goes on, the more trapped you feel. So how do you handle a manipulator? First, you have to set clear boundaries. Be firm about what you will and won't tolerate. If they try to guilt you, stand your ground. If they try to twist the truth, call it out. And most importantly, don't let their tactics make you question your worth. You are not responsible for their happiness, their success, or their peace. That's their job, not yours. Second, distance yourself if necessary. Some manipulators won't change, no matter how many boundaries you set. In those cases, it's okay to step back or even walk away entirely. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your life, especially not someone who takes more than they give. Finally, trust your instincts. Manipulators are good at creating doubt, but your gut knows the truth. If something feels off, listen to that feeling. Don't ignore the red flags just because you care about the person. Love and loyalty should never come at the cost of your peace. Remember this: your time, energy, and trust are valuable. Don't waste them on people who manipulate and take advantage of you. When you free yourself from the grip of a manipulator, you reclaim your power. And when you reclaim your power, you create space for genuine, healthy connections, relationships built on mutual respect and support, not control. Stay strong, stay aware, and don't be afraid to put yourself first. The gossip is one of the most destructive forces you can encounter. They thrive on spreading rumors, negativity, and half-truths. Their mission is simple: to tear people down and stir up drama wherever they go. They feed off chaos and conflict, and if you're not careful, they'll pull you into their toxic cycle. Gossips are experts at making it seem like they have inside information. They'll lean in close, lower their voice, and say, "You didn't hear this from me, but..." That's their bait. And if you listen long enough, you'll find yourself caught in a web of negativity that has nothing to do with you. But here's the thing: gossip never stops at just listening. The moment you engage, even if it's just to nod along, you become a part of the problem. And rest assured, if they're gossiping about someone else today, they'll be gossiping about you tomorrow. What gossips don't realize is that they create a culture of distrust. When you spend too much time with a gossip, you start to wonder, what are they saying behind my back? What stories are they telling about me when I'm not around? It's exhausting and draining to be in a relationship where trust is constantly undermined. Gossips breed insecurity and paranoia, and if you're not careful, they'll rob you of your peace. But the damage doesn't stop there. Gossip is like a poison that spreads quickly, infecting everything it touches. It can destroy friendships, break up families, and even ruin reputations. And the saddest part, most of the time the stories aren't even true. They're exaggerated, distorted, or completely fabricated, all for the sake of creating a little more drama. So how do you handle a gossip? First and foremost, refuse to participate. The moment someone starts a conversation with, "Did you hear about so-and-so?" you have a choice. You can either entertain it, or you can shut it down. You might say, "I'd rather not talk about that," or "I prefer to stay out of other people's business." It may feel awkward at first, but standing firm sends a clear message. You don't tolerate gossip. Second, guard your own words. Be mindful of what you share with a gossip, because they will twist your words to fit their narrative. Keep personal details to yourself, and don't give them any ammunition to use against you or others. And finally, distance yourself if necessary. If someone's entire personality revolves around gossip, it's time to ask yourself, do I really want this person in my life? You deserve relationships built on trust, respect, and positivity, not drama and betrayal. Walking away from a gossip doesn't make you cruel or disloyal. It makes you wise. Here's the truth. You can't control what people say behind your back, but you can control who you allow into your space. Protect your peace by eliminating the gossips from your life. Surround yourself with people who speak life, not death, who build others up, not tear them down. Because when you choose relationships based on trust and integrity, you create an environment where positivity and growth can thrive. Stay vigilant, stay true to yourself, and never let a gossip steal your joy. The self-centered person is one of the most difficult to deal with because everything in their world revolves around them. Their needs, their desires, their problems. They take center stage in every conversation and interaction. They expect you to drop everything when they need help, but when it's your turn to lean on them, they're either too busy or uninterested. Over time, you'll notice a pattern. The relationship is entirely one-sided, and it's exhausting. Self-centered people have an incredible ability to turn every situation back to themselves. You could be sharing a personal struggle, and instead of offering empathy or understanding, they'll find a way to make it about their experiences. You talk about a success, and suddenly they're boasting about how much better they did. They don't listen to understand. They listen to respond, to redirect, and to make sure the spotlight stays firmly on them. What's worse is that they often lack awareness. They may not even realize how selfish their behavior is because they've been this way for so long. But whether they're intentional or not, the impact on you is the same. You end up feeling used, unheard, and unseen. And when you spend too much time with someone like that, it can chip away at your confidence and sense of self-worth. You start to wonder, do my needs even matter? Self-centered people also have a habit of demanding more than they give. They expect constant validation, attention, and praise, but they offer little to nothing in return. You could give them the world, and it still wouldn't be enough, because their appetite for attention is insatiable. They will drain you emotionally and mentally without a second thought if it means satisfying their own needs. So how do you handle a self-centered person? First, stop feeding into their behavior. You don't have to cater to their every demand or inflate their ego just to keep the peace. It's okay to say no. It's okay to refuse to be their emotional crutch when they're not willing to reciprocate. Second, assert your boundaries. Make it clear that your time, energy, and needs are just as important as theirs. If they try to monopolize conversations, gently but firmly redirect the focus. If they dismiss your feelings, let them know that you expect respect and consideration. And finally, recognize when it's time to walk away. Some self-centered people won't change no matter how many boundaries you set. If the relationship continues to take more than it gives, it may be time to distance yourself or let go entirely. You deserve relationships that are balanced and mutual. Relationships where both people feel valued and heard. Remember this, your life is not a stage for someone else's show. You have your own dreams, your own struggles, and your own victories that deserve to be acknowledged and celebrated. Don't let a self-centered person dim your light or make you feel small. Reclaim your space, surround yourself with people who lift you up, and watch how much brighter your world becomes. The power of healthy boundaries is something that cannot be overstated. Boundaries are not about being cold, selfish, or distant. They're about protecting your peace, your time, and your emotional well-being. When you set healthy boundaries, you're drawing a line between what is acceptable and what is not. You're saying, this is what I will allow in my life, and this is what I won't tolerate. And let me tell you, there is strength in that. Setting boundaries starts with knowing your worth. You have to understand that your time, energy, and peace are valuable. When you recognize that, you stop allowing people to take advantage of you. You stop saying yes to every demand, every favor, and every emotional burden that someone tries to place on your shoulders. You realize that it's okay to prioritize yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. Boundaries are also about self-awareness. You have to know your limits. Maybe it's limiting how much time you spend with negative people. Maybe it's refusing to engage in gossip or drama. Or maybe it's as simple as carving out time for yourself each day to recharge. Whatever your limits are, honor them. Listen to your body and your spirit when they're telling you that something isn't right. One of the hardest things about boundaries is enforcing them. There will always be people who try to test your limits, who push and prod to see how far they can go. Some will use guilt. You're really going to leave me hanging? Others will get angry or defensive when you say no. But remember this, setting boundaries is not about controlling other people's behavior. It's about controlling how you respond. You have the right to walk away from situations or relationships that drain you. You have the right to say no without feeling guilty. Boundaries also protect the relationships that matter. They create clear expectations and prevent resentment from building. When you have boundaries, you're not constantly running on empty, and you're able to show up fully for the people you care about. You can be present, engaged, and supportive without feeling used or burned out. And here's the truth. People who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. They may not always understand them at first, but they will honor them because they care about your well-being. The people who don't respect your boundaries, they're revealing their true nature, and that's valuable information. Sometimes setting boundaries helps you see who's really in your corner and who's just there for what they can take. Healthy boundaries also open the door for growth. When you stop saying yes to things that don't serve you, you create space for the things that do. You have more time for your passions, your goals, and the relationships that lift you up. You can focus on becoming the best version of yourself without being weighed down by other people's expectations. Boundaries are not walls, they're gates. They allow the right things in and keep the harmful things out. They give you the freedom to live with peace, purpose, and clarity, so don't be afraid to set them. Don't be afraid to say, "I deserve better." Because when you stand firm in your boundaries, you're not just protecting yourself, you're honoring the life you were meant to live. Negativity is like a weight, holding you down, draining your energy, and distracting you from your purpose. But you have the power to lighten that load by being intentional about the people you allow into your life. Whether it's the drainer, the dream killer, the manipulator, the gossip, or the self-centered, each of these toxic influences has one thing in common. They rob you of your peace, your joy, and your progress. If you want to live a life of fulfillment and purpose, you have to make the choice to protect your space. Eliminating negativity doesn't mean you're being cruel or unkind. It means you're valuing yourself. It means you recognize that your energy is limited and you have to invest it wisely. You are responsible for your own well-being, and that responsibility begins with the people you choose to surround yourself with. When you set healthy boundaries, you're not just pushing negativity away, you're creating room for positivity, growth, and success. You're allowing yourself to be fully present for the relationships that matter, and you're opening the door to new opportunities and blessings. Boundaries are an act of self-love and self-respect. They give you the power to protect your dreams, your peace, and your purpose. So take a moment to reflect. Look around at the people in your life and ask yourself, who adds value to my life and who takes it away? Who lifts me up and who drags me down? Be honest with yourself because your future depends on it. You were not meant to live weighed down by other people's fears, doubts, or toxicity. You were meant to soar. And as you make these decisions, trust that the right people will come into your life. The people who encourage you, who see your potential, who celebrate your victories, and walk beside you in your struggles. Those are the people you need. When you surround yourself with that kind of energy, nothing can stop you. Choose wisely, protect your peace, and watch as your life transforms for the better.